Hi guys, welcome back. Well, last time you saw me making a new pulley wheel for the motor, and the reason for that was I was getting some slippage with the smaller diameter pulley wheel that I'd fitted, and I thought changing into a larger diameter would give me a bit more purchase on the drive belt, and that seems to have done the trick. I'm just toying with the idea of taking that D groove down just slightly more. It's just less than halfway at the moment in the groove, so I'm toying with the idea of taking that down a bit deeper. But at the moment, we're on a low spot there with the bearing, and it just climbs onto the high spot there. Back down to the low, and back onto the high. So at the moment it is climbing over that ridge. Okay, well, instead of doing anything more with the pulley wheel, I've decided to move on to the cross slide. I've got a centre mounted into the R32 chuck to give him the centre height, and I've started machining one or two parts down. I'll just bring you in a bit closer to that centre. Sorry guys, I'm getting a bit of camera shake. It's the tripod's mounted onto the lathe there, so please excuse me for that. I think you get the idea there. I've only got one bolt holding the ER32 chuck on at the moment. I've got two more to put in. There's just one holding it on at the moment. Yeah, that gives you the idea, guys. Okay, to mount the cross slide, first up I've got this plate. Now this will be bolted onto the lathe bed, and then I've got this riser block that will go on. Started machining this down. I've got a touch more to do on it yet. And then the first part of the cross slide goes on. I've got a cutout there for it, which I've machined into this piece, so that will be lined up onto there. Now on top of that, this slides onto there, he says. And then that gives me position for the compound slide to slide on, which is this piece. Now the piece that I had on originally, the first piece that went on, I'm going to knock up a second piece of that with an extra 50mm width to support the riser block. It's just slightly under at the moment. I'm I'm thinking of going an extra 50mm wider than that. At the moment it's not quite lining up in line with the centre that I've got mounted. So that extra 50mm should give me the sufficient width in that way. And then we've got the cutting piece that slides into that. Yes, I've not got quite enough width on this piece to support the back edge of the cast iron, so I'm thinking that the extra 50mm will give me support at the back, and then it will bring the cutting tip into line with the centre. I'd like to keep that right angle on a piece on there, and then that will register up against the edge of the lathe bed. So drilling through some holes either side will support it, lock it onto the bed then. So I think that's the next job, guys. Cut another piece of this, 50mm wider, and then we can look at bolting it all together. Well guys, I've got it all bolted together. I've got the riser block bolted onto this base plate, and then the cross slide is bolted onto the riser, and I've just mounted the compound slide, and I've got one or two bolts to tighten up. I've drilled and tapped a hole into the lathe bed that'll take a 6mm vanity bolt. So the base plate is now bolted onto the lathe bed, and I'm going to give it a try with a pencil or a pen at first, just to see how we go. I've just got a piece of cardboard mounted onto the base plate. It's just stuck on with some tape, so I think yep, it's still climbing over the ridges, so let's bring this out. Okay, it's done a full circle now. Let's see what we've got. Well, that outer line is the one that I've just drawn with a biro. The two previous ones I had a practice with a rather knackered old felt tip, and it was jiddling about a bit, and it wasn't a great success. But the biro that I've just done, that I'm quite pleased with that. Let's have another try. Now, I don't know if I can leave the camera mounted onto the lathe bed at this stage. Last time I tried it, it was jumping about a bit, so we'll see. don't think I've got the best of pens at the moment. Oh, it's working now. Take it down to a smaller diameter. Let's try it there. Not very pretty, guys, but promising. I think part of the problem there was I was waddling the pen left and right to give me that interesting design in the centre. But what I intend doing once everything's up and running and working as I wanted, I'm going to put a clock dial on the tool post, so I can move that over in equal spaces between the lines. So I may make a separate platform for the magnetic base to sit onto. It's a bit, it clears it, but I thought it might just be in the way, but no, I think I'll make a separate platform for it to sit on. Well guys, I think it's finally starting to take shape. Still one or two little jobs to do on it. I'd like to put some kind of brake on it to hold the headstock in an upright position. But I think that will go on the back side of it, behind the pulley wheel. Got some more rosettes to build and make yet, but I think most of it's done now.